Hello and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 11th of October. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. Now I'm going to give you the major strands of this week as an overview and then dive deep for each individual zodiac sign. So please stay with me. Now the major news story this week is that Saturn, the ruler of time, Saturn is the Latin version of Kronos, the Greek god. Kronos, old, father, time. So Saturn governs the mechanics of things. It's very much to do with where we're applied, where we're disciplined, but it can also be about limitation and obstacles and contraction. And since the 23rd of May, Saturn has been retracing its steps in the sign of Aquarius, which of course it co-rules. But for vast amounts of that time, it has been pretty much in a square with Uranus, the other ruler of Aquarius, which is very progressive and freedom-loving, very much about trying new things, where Saturn's very much about traditionality. So if you have experienced a period of great frustration in your situation and it feels that things just haven't been moving forwards, it's really positive that Saturn starts to station direct. But this week also sees the Sun and Mars in the sign of Libra in a combination which is pushing us to assert our rights around relationships in a tense right angle with Pluto, the planet of transformation. And this can lead to some quite forceful or heated standoffs. But those relationships that are much more constructive are given an opportunity to become even more stable and progressive, because Venus, the planet of relating in the sign of philosophy, Sagittarius, is linking brilliantly to Saturn. So that's a real upside to this week. But there is a quarter moon which occurs on Wednesday, and this one is pretty close to Pluto, and it's the moon in Capricorn, and that's squaring to the Sun in the 7th house. Do you know, there may be a situation where we do actually try very much to fit in with what's expected of us, but somehow or another, whoever we're trying to relate to will still find that our efforts just are not good enough. So expect to encounter someone who really is quite hard to please, and that could in itself be quite frustrating if we're really trying our best to be quite constructive. Now the other thing to tell you is that by the end of this week, both Mercury and Jupiter on Sunday are ending their retrogrades, both in air signs, the Mercury retrograde in Libra and Jupiter in Aquarius. But I will tell you more about that next time. But the big news story this week is definitely that Sun-Mars square with Pluto and Saturn going forwards. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. And if you want your free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning, please click on the subscription link beneath this video. I write for some of the world's bigger platforms, and also for the British Press Association. I've been their lead astrologer for many years, and also Britain's most read daily newspaper, the Metro, so why not grab yours too? And with year 2022 fast racing up, if you want to understand what the year holds for you personally, based on your time, date and place of birth, you can order your forecast now and get the rest of this year free, plus a character analysis, plus 30% off. So gain searing insights for what lies ahead for you. Hello Cancer, and welcome to your in-depth forecast for week commencing the 11th of October. Saturn going forwards in your 8th house. The 8th house is about money, about where we're most invested, where we're most passionate. It can be about the things we share, but if you have been going through a period since the 23rd of May when the retrograde began, when your future hopes, which are highlighted by the brilliant and innovative Uranus, but the two have been in a quarrel most of this year. If your longer term hopes seem to have been snagged by money issues, or where you're not feeling that you're getting the cooperation and collaboration that you really want, or there's someone close to you who's much more conservative in their approach to you, when you're wanting to be much more radical, then I feel that Saturn going forwards is really something to celebrate. But of course, Venus is also forging a very constructive link to Saturn. A conversation with someone around a financial matter can go really well this week, and that's something to savour. But Mars is still close to the Sun in your 4th house. And Mars in the 4th house, just like Mars in Cancer, can be quite an impatient and reactive energy. So if something is testing your patience, particularly with the pair in a right angle with the deep and transformational Pluto, but also the emotional energies of the Moon, especially around a family relationship or a friendship or someone you normally hope would keep a sense of perspective and balance, you could find yourself feeling more sensitive but also much more inclined to say how you feel. Often Cancer people will avoid outright conflict as much as possible. You'll go left, you'll go right, you get under your hard hat and you'll withdraw. That's how you deal with it, because it scares you. But I think some conflict could show itself this week, and if there's something that you need to defend or speak up about around your personal security or about where you live, you may have to find your voice, even if you find it a little bit uncomfortable. The key, with Mercury still going backwards, is to make sure you're not being too subjective in your responses, and that when you do speak, if it's about a factual matter, those facts are really double, nay even thrice checked. Thank you for joining me.